What's good? It's your girl E, and today is July 5th, 2026. I hope the color of all of this is okay because I'm not editing anything yet. I was just sitting here and I was thinking that my main theme as of recent has been what now? What now? My dog passed away a few months ago after 14 and a half years. Shortly after, because I was so connected to her, my health declined rapidly. And I've been working on rebalancing. So, I'm feeling, my body's feeling a lot better because it was not just her passing, it was the fact that I was also $250,000 in debt. So I had just lost my dog. Um, I was a homeowner. There was just so much going on. And I was at a point in my life where I was starting to feel, I don't want to say defeated, because the battles that I have fought and won in my lifetime is astounding. But I think I had got to a point where the fight, I was tired of it. I was tired of fighting because not only did I feel like my purpose was given to me, I was in the military for 8 years, took care of siblings who didn't like me, but because I loved them as the oldest, I put my entire life on hold. Everything that I wanted to do and accomplish, all of the traveling that I wanted to do, I put all of that on hold because I believed in family first. I had custody of 2 siblings and partial custody of one, and then I had my son, and then I had the dog, and I was in my early 20s. Am I blaming them? Absolutely not. That's just something that I have done, in my past. Losing my mother 16 years ago and paying for her funeral because her husband, I'm just not going to go there, but her husband was not the best person at all. But he was abusive. I'll just keep it at that. But yeah, it was, when I think back, actually, when I look back at younger photos of me, I start to feel emotional because I look at those photos and I'm looking at this genuine, loving, caring, beautiful little girl, and just thinking to myself, you did not deserve the bullshit that was handed to you. And through it all, I still believed in love, community, family, etc., etc. I put a lot of the things that I wanted to do on hold. I'll be 39 this year and I will be 40 next year. And I have yet to go on vacation. I have yet to travel. Now, I will say, me being in the military doesn't count. Me being stationed overseas doesn't count. That was not a vacation, it was work. But I have never been on a cruise or been to a fancy hotel. I will say I went to a winery, they call like a resort. Um, but that was to prevent a true crash out. So it was one of those, I have to get out of here before something happens. And I took my dog and, I went to a resort for a few days just to decompress, but it really wasn't that because I still had a dog that I had to take care of. So it wasn't something that was 100% for me. It was to prevent a nervous breakdown. It wasn't because it's something I'm looking forward to. And now that I'll be 40 next year, I realized all my life I've been a provider, a protector, an Uber, an ATM, a counselor, a hairstylist, everything, a therapist, counselor, a motivational speaker, a mentor. I have been there for so many people, and not just my siblings, but elders and other people within my bloodline, my human bloodline. And people who I thought were friends, relationships that I've had in the past. Hmm. So after my puppy passed away, she was a dash hound. I got her when I was in Germany. She was 3 months when I was able to get her, but I picked her out when she was born. And I actually knew her dog parents before she was born. So I've known my puppy since she was still being created, right? Still in the womb. And so I built such a deep connection to that dog. And when she passed during a winter storm, no less, in the house, that it took a toll on me because she's somebody I cared so deeply for. She's been everywhere that I've been. She's traveled with me. It wasn't for vacation, but it was for, just to go visit people who, I wanted to see or wanted to see me. But it was, the only vacation, like I said, was the crash out uh, vacation. So, or the crash out prevention um, vacation. So, but she's been some of everywhere. I've gotten her plane tickets before. I remember I had to get her a Delta bag and she had to be in that bag. And it was just so much work, so much money too. But I loved my pup and I didn't want to put her in any kennels. She actually didn't. She's only been in a kennel or like a pet hotel maybe twice in her life. I think twice. But other than that, she's been with me 24/7. Well, not even 24/7, but every day, because I had to work, go to school, things like that. But yeah, man, that was my pup. And I never wanted pets, but she was an exception. She was an exception for me. Absolutely. Um, she was there for my evolution. She was there throughout my military career and after, and all my ups and downs. She was my pup. And so when I lost her in January 26, 2026, um, that took a toll on my health. And it was swift. Now, I did fight to, get myself back to where I am right now. Many things followed too. So it was definitely stress, losing my puppy, being a homeowner, because what they don't tell you when you're a homeowner is you better be prepared to put some money up for um, repairs, replacements, renovations, X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. I was a single parent owning a home. I didn't have a brother or a sister or a cousin or a daddy or a friend that I can call on to come fix it. I had to call multiple people and hope that those people wouldn't take advantage and charge me $1,000 over what they're supposed to charge me, right? So I didn't have the luxury of having a partner who can just go fix it. So every time, I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. So every time something broke down in the house, I'm just like, bruh, that was another expense. So she passed away. 2 days later, I said, okay, I don't want the house no more. And I am over $250,000 in debt. So I'm going to put the house up for sale. And that was hell. Hell. So with doing that, whew, that was a journey. That was something. Because as I'm still grieving the loss of my pet, I'm also having showings and having to go in and out the house. It was just, it was rough. But I got it done. It was very expensive. Because it wasn't just expensive for me because, I had not only my debt, but all of the renovations that I had to do and appliances that I purchased as selling points. So brand new appliances and paying my brokerage and their brokerage, my closing and their closing costs on top of all of the renovations and on top of knowing that I have to pay the other debt that I already owe. So I didn't make much of a profit at all. barely none. I got enough to, move into an apartment, but that was hell. That was hell. I'm so glad I went through it and got through it. And that's why I tell myself I'm so proud of myself for making that move and stop listening to people about. I feel like people are under some weird spell that you have to be a homeowner. If you don't have help, that's something homeowners don't get that I know of. I've been a homeowner for almost a decade. It is so hard to get help. Or if it's not readily available. They might say, "Oh, well, you can just Google this or contact this," or no, no, stop. Pause. So I feel like so many people are under this spell that everybody needs to own a home, but it makes it a lot harder, especially if I'm just ready to go. That's another thing. I'm ready to just exit the state and go somewhere else. I want to explore now. I have spent my entire existence taking care of people, and now I'm ready to have fun. I'm ready to go meet new people, be on panels and discussions about extraterrestrials and the Galactic Federation and consciousness and spirituality and cymatics and law of attraction and, just everything. Anything you can imagine that's fun. That's what I want to do. I want to go to laboratories that do sound frequencies and sound healing and see how it affects the body. You know, it's just a lot of things I want to do. I want to go on my first spacecraft. um, yeah, I'm glad I sold my house, even though didn't no profit, but I'm alive and I no longer have $250,000 of debt on me, and I got rid of that in about 2 months. So, um, it was such a beautiful house, such a beautiful house, and my interest rate was phenomenal. But oh well, my interest rate was in the twos, the 2%. So, I know some people may say, "Oh my God, you got rid of that." I sure did, because you're not going to give me the money to fix all this stuff that needs to get fixed every time something breaks down. You're not going to give it to me. Ain't nobody going to give me a GoFundMe to pay off the house. So, and I had people that tried to tell me, "Oh, well, why don't you just rent it out? Or why don't you just turn it into an Airbnb?" No, no, no. I just don't want the responsibility anymore, because the responsibility is just on me. I don't share responsibility with anybody. And another thing, being a homeowner, you have to be educated on all of this. You have to be educated on real estate. If you just buy a house just because it's the trendy thing to do, and just because you can knock out a wall and do whatever you want, as long as you're not harming others, doesn't make it a good selling point for me. Doesn't mean that you should buy the house. I don't know. I just have a different perspective um, on home ownership. Now, do I think home ownership is a good thing? Absolutely. I would love to own another home when I'm in my 50s. I would love to own another home when I am very well educated on real estate And when I have the money for not only the property, but the um, to get a house built and just pay cash. So not everybody is in the financial um I'm just gonna say, for lack of a better term, the financial boat to own a home, especially a single parent, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that part alone because that could be a different video on its own. But um, yeah, so I sold my house, um, debt free, but now I'm at a point, which is what now? I've done so much inner work. I have done so much reflection, so much um evolution, I should say, even before I sold the house. Even before I sold the house, I was on this path of enlightenment, evolution, going to the next level. I'm sorry if I'm doing all of this. I was in my feelings a little bit earlier. Um, and I've been doing a lot of, what do you call it? Release. I've been doing that a lot. And I think it's because I've always kept it in from being the strong one and being the protector and provider. I never had a chance to be emotional. But my theme now is it's like, what now? Because being in debt gave me a reason. It gave me purpose. It gave me a reason to get up in the morning. And even though it was taking a toll on my mental health and my physical health, and I'm still recovering from that, um, it still gave me a false sense of purpose on top of the other things that I have done in my life, right? I have degrees, I have certifications, I have experiences, I've had jobs, been working since I was 8. When I say working, I'm talking like in truck yards, washing trucks at night in New York at 8 years old. Um, Raising kids that I did not give birth to. And then putting my life on hold to take care of people that I did not give birth to. I had one child because I knew that's what I could handle. And life was like, let's turn it up a notch. Let's give you about 3 more. Oh, and you're going to have just a few little sprinkles of other people along the way. Because I also took care of a friend of a sibling. Took care of the friend of a sibling. So I'm taking them to school and to work. And I'm going to school and to work and I'm just going to say I've done a lot. This is just scratching the surface. If I named off all the stuff that I have done for people, especially grown ass people, and I'm talking people generations above me that I should not have had to help, that was supposed to be helping me, your mouth would drop. Actually, you probably wouldn't, because y'all probably went through the same thing. But yeah, so I might just make another video because I feel like this video is already getting too long. So I'm gonna end it here and then just start the camera back up and continue what I was saying. So thanks for watching. Peace.